sword of light is coming. Now, I just found this right here. I needed a visual, so I just typed in the sword of light. I couldn't even tell you what this book is about, but I'm going somewhere with this. I really am going to go somewhere with this sword of light. And I was thinking no further downloads were going to be coming through today, but they did come through. And it's about the sword. And if you saw the videos earlier today, there were 4 of them. And now this is going to make 5. This is going to make 5. Gina, where are you going? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what this sword of light is about. Hello, Mickey, honey. Now I'm kind of curious as to what that sword of light is about. Let me just look at it. We want to look at what the sword of light is. By the way, I changed my shirt. I told you would not see me with the same shirt on. I would clean myself up and I would have a different shirt, and I got a different shirt. Yeah, how's it going? It's going good. I want to know what that's about. It's a trilogy, but I wonder what it's about. Oh, that does not sound good. I don't even like using that, but I used it. I don't even like it. Well, I'll tell you what that book's about. That's really funny. Not funny, it's really weird. This thing came out in February of 2017. That's really strange. For 500 years, the gods have united 3 nations in harmony. Now the balance has been shattered and chaos threatens. Well, that's about right. But the sword of light. The sword of light. Hello, you are just tuning in. I'm going to go somewhere with where I went this morning. I did. It was talking about the 2 suns. And, you know, we have like a binary system like twin suns. You have the red and blue Kachina also. Let's think of all the allegories, analogies, all the similarities and stuff. You have the 2 suns. You have, there was the Cain and the Abel. The one sacrifice was more acceptable. So you know what happened. He did that to his brother. Then you had Jacob and you had Esau. The one was more favored than the other. And then the one vowed to come after him. Then you had, there's something else that happened. Oh, I just thought of it today too. Joseph, with his coat of many colors. Many colors. His brother threw him in the pit because he was the favorite of his father. He was the youngest. Okay, I'm going to go somewhere. Okay, this is where we're going to go. This is where Esau wanted his birthright. He wanted the blessings from his father, Isaac, the birthright. So he said, well, go fix me a meal. I'm getting old. I can't see you. That's what Isaac said. I'm getting old. I can't see you. I'll try to keep it short. So while he is gone, while Esau is gone hunting and whatever, this is what happened. Isaac blesses Jacob because Jacob's mother, Rebecca, decides that she's going to make Jacob pretend that he is Esau. She has him get these animals and she'll fix the stew. And she puts the goat skin on his hands because Esau is a very hairy man. And he just smelled like a man or something. But he put the goat skin with the goat hair on him. And Isaac was feeling it. And the sun will turn black as sackcloth with like goat skin, like goat hair. Okay, that she put that goat skin on Jacob. She did. But this is beside the point. I'm going further with that. So Jacob gets this blessing. This video may not be for everyone. Hello there, Mickey. Hello there, Al Honey. May God give you the dew of heaven and the riches of the earth and abundance of grain and new wine. May people serve you and nations bow down to you. May you be the master of your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you. May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed. So he got the blessing of that he wasn't supposed to get, but he got it anyhow. The blessing was supposed to go to Esau, who was the firstborn of Isaac. That's fine. So as he's gone, and Esau comes back, I'll tell you what happened when he comes back. When he comes back, he asks his father, don't you have anything, any blessing for me at all? Do you have anything for me? But this is what happened. As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had left, his father, as Jacob had left his father's presence, his brother Esau returned from the hunt. He too made tasty food and brought it to his father and said to him, my father, sit up and eat of your son's game, that you may bless me. This is where it's going to get interesting, what he says to him. And that's where I'm going to go. What he says to him as a result. Just keep me going. I just got to get to the chapter. I want to go to the whole entire chapter 27. I want to read it to you because this, I want you to listen. I've got a theory, and it's different than some people's theory, but not too different. Okay, it's not. Let's see. He touched him. The voice is Jacob. He ate, he drank, he came and kissed him. See, he did that. May people serve you. Esau's lost hope. This is how his brother got his hope. So as soon as he said, sit up and eat some of your son's game so that you may bless me. But his father Isaac replied, who are you? I am Esau, your firstborn son, he answered. Isaac began to tremble violently. Who was it then who hunted the game and brought it to me? Before you came in, I ate it all and I blessed him, and indeed he will be blessed. When Esau heard his father's word, he let out a loud and bitter cry and said to his father, bless me too, O father. But Isaac replied, your brother came deceitfully and took your blessing. His brother was Jacob. But Esau declared, is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has cheated me twice. He took my birthright, and now he has taken my blessing. Then he asked, haven't you saved a blessing for me? But Isaac answered Esau, look, I have made him your master and given him all his relatives as servants. I have sustained him with grain and new wine. What is left that I can do for you, my son? Esau said to his father, do you have only one blessing? My father, bless me too. Oh, my father. Then Esau wept. He wept aloud. It's just like Jesus wept. Remember, Jesus wept. Now Esau has wept. I'm going somewhere with this, you all. I really am. This video is not for everyone, but there is some similarities that I want to point out. His father Isaac answered him, behold, your dwelling place shall be away from the riches of the land, away from the dew of heaven above. You shall live by the sword and serve your brother. But when you rebel, you will tear his yoke from your neck. Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, and then I'll kill my brother Jacob. And when the words of her older son Esau were relayed back to Rebekah, she sent for her younger son Jacob and told him, look, your brother is considering himself to get you. Go and obey my voice and flee at once and go to my brother Laban. She told him to get out of here. Get out of here. And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the Hittite woman. If Jacob takes a Hittite from among them, then what good is my life? Okay, so we got this. This is what I want to point out. You got where's that sword? The sword of light right here. This is what I want to say. The sword of light right here. The sword of light. And what was said, he wept. He truly wept because his brother took his blessing. He took his birthright. He was the firstborn, but his brother did it. So his father gave him one blessing. Your dwelling place shall be away from the riches of the land, away from the dew of the heaven above. You shall live by the sword and serve your brother. But when you rebel, you will tear his yoke from your neck. Look. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burdens light. Take my yoke upon you. But when you rebel, you will tear his yoke from your neck. Okay. Okay. Now, we have Joseph. Joseph was one of the biblical patriarchs. Jacob's 12 sons, who was thrown into a pit by his brothers who resented their father's favoritism toward him. Although they sold him into slavery, he rose to become the master of Egypt. So we have Jacob, who took the birthright from Esau and his blessing, and now his son Joseph is thrown in a pit by his brothers because of his favoritism. So we have that. Okay, let me go back to this right here. I want to go back to the blessing that was declared to Esau. You shall live by the sword and serve your brother. The sword of the gospel. But whoever denies me before men, I will deny him before my Father in heaven. Do not assume that I have come to bring peace to earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. He came with a sword. He brung a sword. You shall live by the sword. Yeah, I think I've got something else opened up. Who was the Edomites? The Edomites are the descendants of Esau. Esau, he said, who will live by the sword. And then you have Jesus. Esau has the yoke he's going to rip the yoke off of his neck. When Esau rebels, he will tear the yoke off his neck from his brother. And Esau's going to live by the sword. Jesus said, take my yoke upon you. Okay. And do not assume, this is Jesus, do not assume that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not to come bring peace, but a sword. This sounds like this played out into the future, way into the future from the past. You shall live by the sword. You will tear his yoke from your neck. Esau, the Edomites were the descendants of Esau, the twin brother of Jacob. Job. Job was also a descendant of Esau. The Lord said to Satan, when Satan was walking to and fro from the earth, oh, we can read it. We will. We'll read it. I want you to read it. It's one of my favorite books. Satan's first attack. Where have you come from? Said the Lord to Satan. From roaming through the earth, he replied, and walking back and forth in it. Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? For there is no one on earth like him, a man who is blameless and upright, who fears God and shuns evil. Satan answered the Lord, does Job fear God for nothing? So God is saying, and Job is a descendant of Esau, the firstborn. He is his descendant, and he is an upright man. All right, we got him. And we've got Satan walking. He came right after the angels came. He did. There was something else that I was going to read. I'm not going to get into one thing. Look at this. It is said, based on logic, that Esau is white because he is described as Admoni red. But David is black, even though he is called Admoni red. How can you have someone called Admoni red be black, and Admoni red and be white? I'm just saying that. Okay, we're going to come right here. Where was I at? Let me get over here. I'm just about done. I think I am done. The sword of the light. He's come to bring a sword. I think this ties right into Jesus. I do, because of his birthright. And he took his birthright, he took his blessing, and this is the one blessing his father had left for him. Your dwelling place shall be away from the riches of the land. And did he not? He wasn't in the riches of the land. It was away from it. He went to his own, and his own, they didn't even want him. He was a normal person, ordinary person. And then that's how he lived, just like that, just like that. You shall live by the sword of his mouth, the sword of truth. Guess what? He's coming back. He's coming back as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And he's got his sword of truth. What did he say? He said, do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. He came to bring sword to the earth. Sword. The sword of the King. This is goes along with the first 4 videos this morning. The sword was the word out. The tongue is sharper than any double-edged sword. Most recognize the sword symbolizes the power of Christ's word. His word was his sword. It was the word of truth. It was the sword. From his mouth comes a sharp sword. You shall live by the sword. You shall live by the sword from his mouth. What did he say to Satan? Man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that cometh out of the mouth of God. And the mouth is the sword. The sword. The sword. It's, this may not make sense to some people. You may not see it, but I see it. I see it spiritually. His yoke is easy. His yoke is easy. His yoke is easy. And that's what happened. The sword of the gospel. Oh, he's coming back. That's what I was supposed to be doing. He's going to come back. The coming back of the king. A sharp sword. A sharp sword coming from his mouth so that he might strike the nations with it. He will rule them with an iron rod. He will also trample the winepress of God's. Might as well read what he said. Hold on, my screen turned orange. It went into night vision. Goggles is what it did. I got to go. Well, isn't this strange? Hold on. I'm going somewhere. I'm almost done. This is the 5th video about this, and I was not expecting any more spiritual downloads to come in, but they did, and it's fine. I have, if you don't like it, that's too bad. I have to share what's led on my spirit. I have to share it regardless whether you like it or not, because that's how it goes. The armies, he's the rider on the white horse. The armies of heaven, dressed in fine linen, white and pure, follow him on white horses. And from his mouth proceeds a sharp sword with which to strike down the nations, and he will rule them with an iron scepter. He treads the winepress of the fury of the wrath of God the Almighty. And he has a name written on his robe and on his thigh, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And what is this? What is this? Wait a minute. We're going to read it. We're going to read it. Oh, we're going to read it. You're going to know it. You're going to know it. This is, you got the sword of the Spirit of truth. You got the breastplate of righteousness, the feet of peace, the shield of faith, the armor of God. Let's see what this one is. Let's see how they word it. I can't read it. Okay, this is the armor. He's going to, what he did. I don't know what happened to this. Esau. Okay, so you got it. I'm not going back because my tab somehow got closed. That was his blessing. The one blessing he said, do you have one blessing for me? Just one. And that was his blessing. He told him what would come. And so be it. That's it. That's all I got to say about it. The sword of truth. And it goes on with all the other videos that I did this morning. There's 4 other ones. They started in the morning. This is video 5, even though it's not. It's not that. But it is. His yoke is easy. His burden's light. When he rebels, because he's got the sword of truth. This is the sword of the light. It's the light. The light is coming. It is coming. So I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. It's 9:05. And you may not have heard it. You may have heard something totally, totally different because a lot of people have different perceptions of what things mean. But this this is how it flowed in as I pulled into the driveway at my mom's. Just at that very moment, I was talking to Polly on the phone, and she goes, did you do any live videos today? I haven't had a chance. And I told her, she said she saw something about the two sons. I said, yeah, I did. And I was explaining something to her. And then they came in. The yoke part came in, and the sword, the blessing. And then it just, my memory was triggered. So that's it. He got his blessing. He did. He got a greater blessing than his brother Jacob. He did. A much greater blessing, because what's he going to do? Because he is the rider on the white horse with the armies of heaven, dressed in fine linen, white and pure, following him on white horses. And from his mouth proceeds a sharp sword, just like Isaac said, you will live by the sword. And you won't have all the fine things in life. And when you rebel, you will take that yoke off of you. And this is when it's going to happen. He's going to strike down. His sword is going to strike down the nations, and he will rule them with an iron scepter. And he will tread the winepress of the fury of the wrath of God Almighty. And he has a name written on his robe and on his thigh, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. There is another narrative that is out there. There is. This is a different narrative. I've not heard this one before, but I heard it now. Heard it now. And it makes perfect sense, all of it. It all just flows together. I'm going to go. I'm not going to, the more the words, the less the meaning. How does it profit anyone? It doesn't. I'm going to go. Thank you, moderators. Thank you all for your comments. Please hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. And I'm just going to be led by the Spirit. I'm going to listen when the words flow in. I'm going to come on here. Get a spiritual download, and it's going to come right out. And then when it stops, it's going to end. Have a wonderful rest of your